So yeah, this was these monsters. I'm hitting it again for the sake of the YouTube video. Yeah, this just looks very, very neon and very strange. So we'll see how well that holds up. Boop. It started out being kind of vaporwave, and now it's just neon. They cannot be stopped. They are with you. Weird puddles of black going on. Are these portraits moving? No, they're stationary. It's just the goop on the ground, I guess. Which no harm or penalty if you walk in it, apparently. They have visited many planets. Okay. Good for them. They have a robust space program. Who made LSD breathable? This, honestly, I feel like I've seen more LSD-ish, abstract games like this. Abstract walkers. This one's saying a thing. They cannot fail. Good for them. It's good to have a track record like that. That seems like a thing you can interact with. Really odd, like, sense of space. But like kind of plausible. Like when you get, I'm operating on the assumption that this is all procedurally generated spaces. That was the impression that I got from the description. And certainly there are details that give off that impression, that make it seem like that is the case. And so for a procedurally generated space, it has a reasonable amount of logic and structure to it. It doesn't feel completely disjointed. Like if you found a museum that kind of was structured like this, you'd be like, this is fucked up. Whatever architect designed this must be worth millions to get away with this. I'm not looking at this and being like, this is empirically impossible. That's a hard thing to do with ProcGen, is to make the flow of the space feel at all sane. Oh, it's just a door. It is definitely trippy. They have traveled the depths. They do not blame you. Well, that's good. I would hate it if they blamed me. I would feel bad. Okay, now I'm okay. Now I'm seeing what they're doing. Now we're getting into the impossible spaces. Notice how there is nothing on the back side of this place. Okay? Nothing. We come back around. That's a door. Impossible spaces. I like it. That's also just, technically, that is a seamless level transition. Absolutely seamless. Absolutely seamless. Like, imagine if Metroid Prime was this fast. Like, it doesn't know what room to load next, but you get close enough, it's probably already preloaded. And then, bam. Now, granted, it being, like, so lo-fi kind of helps there, but... I like little things like that. I like the implementations of impossible spaces, and I like how natural that is. I didn't even notice it the first time. That's how natural it is. Yeah, see, this little jetty of next space. It's such a small thing and it's kind of dumb, but I really respect that kind of design and being able to execute that so cleanly. They burn everything they touch. They love you more than anything. Like, the messages on the TVs are kind of... It's obviously trying to create a mood that's like a little... I would say a little unsettling, but that's the geometry's job. Is to unnerve you. Like the lighting and color stuff on the floor. They reject false data. I don't know if there's like an evolution of the messages as we go space to space. I can't really say. I think this is the way we came in. No, that's another new area. They build and they destroy. They are part of something larger. Like, they're all abstract, cryptic notions. It's not really telling us anything. Did I go through that particular door before? Maybe. That's the challenge with the impossible spaces. It's very difficult to orient yourself over time. Yeah, I mean, the TVs could be like self-referential. It could be talking about the world itself. They will protect you forever. What was this about? They turned off the hidden machines. Okay. Saves electricity, I would guess. I don't feel like we're going towards something. I feel like we're just wandering. I don't think there's an end point, is what I'm saying. I think, like, it's kind of facetious on the itch.io page. Like, if you crash, you won. But I feel like that's how this is supposed to end. It's like there isn't an ending, so when it just implodes on itself for one reason or another, like, it may be just technically unoptimized. And they're like, well, it's going to crash eventually, so we'll lampshade it. I actually thought this was eyes. I was like, oh wait, we're past the Rorschach blobbiness and into an actual endpoint. They know your face. They embrace the unspeakable. I'm also trying to get a sense of, like hearing the audio. Is it spatial? Like, is this all coming from a specific spot, or is it just the ambiance? I can't really tell. They love information. I also have no idea, like, is every time we go through a door, it's an entirely new space, or are we at a different part of an old space, and because they're large enough and obtuse enough, we just can't notice? Now, this is a cool set piece, honestly. Just having this balcony is surprisingly cool. Again, I don't know if the end goal is to crash it, or if it's just we weren't able to build this game without having some kind of memory leak that eventually crashes it, and we're just gonna lampshade that. They have visited many planets. We've heard about that already. Because, like, depending on how they did it, it may be, like... Oh, we jumped pretty high. It may be, you know, storing all of those islands, all those museums in memory. All those places we've been. And then after a while, it's just like, it overloads. It can't keep going. And you know what, if that were the case, then that's fair. Or it may, like, get stuck in a loop during region generation and just implode. I don't know. I'm really interested in the architectural spaces that it's creating. Like, personally, I find them interesting. Just because I'm interested in proc gen architecture personally, so like this is kind of my jam. And like you were saying earlier, Tagmar, it's not spooky, it's just confounding, it's just odd. I'm on top of the museum now. It's like they might be trying to spook or unsettle a little bit with the TV messages and all that, but I don't get that feel from it. Yeah, maybe there is an attempt, like maybe it is getting more complex. I can feel it starting to lag a little, so I'm thinking we might be veering towards Crash slowly. But I don't know if it's actually getting more complex or if we just happen to be visiting more complex areas, because like this is pretty open, pretty empty. It's like, who knows? This is really dense, yes. But you get to other areas that seem pretty empty. I'm just gonna keep going through doors now and see if I can crash the game. Because I do think conceptually we've done everything we can. Like it's just walking around, just seeing stuff. And I don't know if there's gonna be anything interesting to see. Anything new and interesting to see, I guess I should put it. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, I want to hear the tech talk behind, like, behind building this game and how the set pieces were done. I'm just kind of curious how it came to be, like how things are attached and assembled. So you can kind of see some of the seams, but like, what was the logic design? Is there logic design? They burned the temples on the moon. Okay. Impressive given the level of atmosphere on the moon. That's trickier than you might think. They are all around you. Now. They burn everything they touch. This does seem like a lot more TVs. I also may have looped back on a space from earlier. Like, it's hard to say, but yeah, that same balcony set piece. That feels distinct enough that I'm not sure if it generated it multiple times. Although it very well could have. I don't know that we're gonna crash the game. I think they put that comment in as like a lampshading failsafe sort of thing. Even with it feeling like it's slowing down as we go along, it doesn't feel like it's crashing. I'm gonna keep trying, but not gonna give it a whole lot longer. Yeah, we're losing frame rate. For sure. But we seem to only lose it as we're going through the doors. Oop. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to crash it. The computer is just too strong. They almost trapped us in here, but... No, I think we're good. Alright, so we couldn't crash the game. Womp womp. How often do you say that? Like, I'm so sad I couldn't crash the game. Yeah, that was nice and trippy. Again, I enjoyed like the proc gen stuff and how well it felt okay. You know, like again, it felt occasionally like it's a plausible space, which is difficult to do. The whole TVs thing, I didn't really care, personally. It was like nice for amplifying the mood, but it didn't make it spooky. It didn't do a lot to make it unsettling because the world building, like the physical building, did most of that work for you. But I did appreciate those moments, like that first moment was like, oh wait, this is impossible spaces. Like, I love having that moment. And then just exploring and playing with that. So yeah, it was a nice little like wander about. And it goes in that set of like LSD walking sims that are actually enjoyable to experience and not like painful or dull or broken. Like, it worked, much to my chagrin. I wanted to crash the thing.